And welcome. This is an official introduction to a new podcast, or a new cast, I guess, called the Lively Sportscast. My name is Eric Lively. I am the host, and we'll be doing sports talk on a solo basis, but also I will have guests giving their opinion about a variety of different subjects, oftentimes a subject that guest feels they know enough about to be on the cast to talk to us about it. Content will be football related, as in college and NFL. I'm more of a college guy than NFL, but since I do fantasy football and I'm a football fan, there'll be plenty of NFL talk as well. There'll also be basketball, which would be the NBA, college basketball, college men's basketball, college women's basketball, and the WNBA. Again, I would have to say in this aspect, the NBA is my favorite of that group, but it could be any of those. Also, when it comes to Olympics, that type of thing, we'll have discussions about basketball when that stuff comes around. And I believe Summer Olympics are coming up here in a few months, so that will be on the docket at some point. Baseball, I'm a huge baseball fan. Several friends of mine are big baseball fans. Baseball specifically for me is MLB, but also college baseball I pay attention to, I would say maybe somewhat anyway. I do have a guest, a friend who will be on the cast a couple of times, and he's big into college baseball. So he'll be able to give a better perspective about college baseball than I do. It's more on a periphery for me than it is mainstream. But those are the main areas of the discussion and the sports I'll be covering. But depending on whatever else is going on out there in the sports world, it could be soccer. Not a giant soccer fan, not a hater by any means. It just wasn't popular when I was a kid, so I didn't really get into it from day one like I did a lot of other sports, and didn't really understand it totally until our children started playing it, and I got to understand better the rules and how things work. Golf. Not a big fan of watching golf on TV. I like to play golf, but I do pay attention somewhat to the big tournaments and what might be happening that's historic or out of the norm, that type of thing. Again, I have a couple of potential guests who like to watch and talk golf and play golf and whatnot. Also, let's see, hockey. Used to be a big hockey fan. I was a Boston Bruins fan back when I was a kid, basically because of Bobby Orr and Phil Esposito. But I have slowly moved away from it. Again, not that I don't pay attention, but it's not in the main realm of my thoughts when it comes to sports on a regular basis. And there could be any other sports, especially like I said with the Olympics coming up and whatnot. So stay tuned for that. Anything that I deem worthy of a discussion, we will talk. There'll be fantasy or sports related topics as well. I've been playing fantasy sports now for 35 plus years. Some topics will be more relevant during the specific sports season. Baseball, for example, coming up soon. The NFL seems to be almost 365 nowadays. So you might think, why am I talking NFL? But, this subject, whatever it is, has come up and it's worth discussion. So the topics could also be related to sports, but not necessarily the sport itself, i.e. Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift content, for example, that's been something in the news lately, thoughts about it, that type of thing. Hall of Fame ceremonies, Hall of Fame picks. Back, how many years ago has it been when Colin Kaepernick was taking a knee and everybody was all up in arms and all that type of stuff. Even when it's like the Super Bowl and we have a short discussion about what we thought about the national anthem, those type of things. So it'll be sports related. It just may not be about, running and blocking or shooting hoop or whatever. To start with this cast, for the most part, I'm going to have it a YouTube cast, and I will be posting on Facebook for people to see as well. At some point, I'm going to probably try and get it so that it's into a podcast form, audio only. But with today's technology and people's abilities, People can pull up YouTube and listen to it and not watch it just as much as they can watch it and listen to it at the same time. So the plan is to do this content about once a week. As I get going, I am going to try and figure out what are the best days for me to do this. Sometimes that's going to depend on my guest, but I'm going to try and publish it on a particular day and at a particular time on a regular basis. That way, people know what to expect and aren't wondering, where the hell is this? Also, by the way, we will try not to do a bunch of what people consider cussing, but because of who I am and who my friends are, some of that stuff might come out anyway. But I can promise you there will not be exorbitant F-bombs. A little background. I've recently done a podcast with my oldest son. It was called The Lively Podcast. And from what I understand, he might be bringing it back. I co-hosted, or he hosted, and I was his guest, however you want to put it. And we did a lot of podcasts. And then it kind of went by the wayside for a while. And it was his cast, so, it's his call. So he did what he wanted. I kind of felt like I had a lot of sports stuff to say and wanted to get it out there, but I couldn't. So I took it upon myself to start up my own cast, and we'll see how this works. I'm looking forward to the whole situation here. I also do a podcast right now with a friend of mine named Derek. It is called the Two Lively Old Men Podcast, and it is music-based, but it also has a lot of other bullshit type comments, things out of the ordinary, things strange. There is, by the way, a lot of explicit content in that one. So if that interests you at all, you could check that one out as well. Two Lively Old Men, the number two Lively Old Men Podcast. I look forward to having and reading comments. So on the YouTube page, you can, when you watch it, comment down below as to what you think about certain things that are said, or even if you got something to say that wasn't said in there, they're like, hey, you guys forgot to say this or talk about this or whatever. That's perfectly fine to make this content so that it is relatable and something people want to hear. I want to hear what it is that you like and what you don't like, I guess. And also understand that it is my podcast, and I am a type of person that says, if you don't like a TV show, turn the channel, don't watch it. If you don't like this music, listen to something else. If you don't like the podcast, listen to something else. If you don't like the video cast, there's others out there. If you don't like reading this book, don't read that damn book. All right. So don't make other people suffer for something you don't like. Put it that way. I look forward to doing this cast on a regular basis and hope you enjoy it. Please interact and comment, like I said, and like, share, and also subscribe to the YouTube page, please. I have many plans for the cast to make it better moving forward. In the meantime, bear with me with all the little idiosyncrasies and bloopers and whatnot that might happen. Thank you very much for paying attention. This, again, is the introduction to the podcast. There is one out already. I'm talking with my son. People told me they thought it sounded pretty damn good. I am 50-50 on it, but like I said, I will get better, and this whole thing will get better. So I appreciate this, and I look forward to talking some more soon. Thank you very much. Bye.